What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show you this double 28 kilogram long cycle competition set I did on Saturday. This was the second time I did 10 minutes with that weight in long cycle, and I'm going to tell you some kettlebell sport lore as well. So I did this at the famous Euro Fitness Gym in St. Petersburg, Russia, which is one of the most legendary kettlebell sport places in the world. Some of the most famous lifters used to train there, have competed there, including, for example, Denis Vasilyev, who I'm sure most of you guys know. And in fact, it was his coach, a man named Sergei Rachinsky, who organized this competition. And he also happens to be the coach of my coach, Anastasia. So if you're like a fan of kettlebell sport, like I am, it's really a special place and a special opportunity to be able to like kind of compete there and like just soak up the atmosphere, if you will. On this set, I felt I wasn't in my best shape, even though my training, my preparation went okay, like my training numbers went up, but my motivation was kind of low because I already felt a little bit burnt out because I had been training really hard at the start of the year. So I didn't have much motivation to actually compete and do 10 minutes, but you know, you only live once. So if you have the opportunity, especially at a place like that, you have to do it. So I just went out and tried to keep the pace of 5 reps per minute, and it did go okay in the beginning. So now we're 2 minutes in. Obviously 2 minutes in, I already kind of want to put the bells down, but that's just normal, you know, and that's something we can talk about as well, like this competition mentality. I think everybody experiences that, and it's just something. Like I talked with another guy from my gym, like super strong guy, actually at this competition. He did 10 minutes with double 34 kilograms. Can you imagine that? Long cycle, 2 times 34 kilograms, and he did 55 reps, right? And actually we talked about it last week, that it's very important to always try to finish 10 minutes in competition. So that's one thing I actually take pride in. I never voluntarily set the bells down before 10 minutes in competition. Like there were a couple instances in training where like the weight crushed me and I said, no, not today, and I quit the set, but not in competition. And the reason I think you should really like emphasize that is because that is going to give you the confidence that you know you're not going to quit. You just say to yourself, I never quit. I always go 10 minutes in competition. Like there were instances where I didn't get to 10 minutes in long cycle and in snatch because my grip gave out, but I never voluntarily like said, okay, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to put the bells down, because that can really get into your head and you don't want that self-doubt. So what I do is I give myself permission to slow down. If I like feel like it's getting really hard and the urge to quit is really strong, I say, okay, I'm just going to slow down a bit, but I'm going to keep lifting. And then usually like as I get over that kind of difficult like minute or two, I find some more strength and can actually like pick up the pace again at the end, more often than not. And that's kind of like that's really the mindset you need, because I remember actually at my first competition, or one of my first competitions, it was some kind of WKSF event, like maybe even the World Championship. And there was this guy and he did long cycle only with 24s. And he lifted, I think, for 2 or 3 minutes, put the bells down and walked away. And he wasn't tired. He was not tired, and he wasn't in a lot of pain. It was just his mind playing tricks on him. It was the anticipation of the pain and the anticipation of the discomfort that made him quit. And that's actually something that's like, I think that's something all of you have done 10 minutes actually know, that at 2 to 3 minutes, you're not in that much pain. It just starts getting uncomfortable. And what actually screws with your mindset is the anticipation that it's going to get worse. So yeah, this is like the mental aspect. And also I saw my coach Anastasia lift at this event, at this competition. She did 10 minutes of 20 kilogram snatch. And that was really like inspirational to see, because I could really see her kind of like elite mindset. Because she's like this super nice, super friendly person, right? She's always like in a good mood, always smiling. And she was like that, like this like bubbly girl. And she was like that all the way until she like picked up the bell. She was standing there laughing, joking. And then she just picks up the bell and she turns into like a Terminator. And then you see it's getting really hard. It's getting really difficult for her. But she stays relaxed and her technique doesn't change. And that's, I feel, kind of the next level. So like in the beginning, people like don't even can push themselves because they are too weak mentally. And then you get kind of to this like level where I'm at, and where a lot of like good lifters are at, where you kind of can really work yourself up and really push yourself to the limit. But the next level, like the true elite level, would be like getting to the level where you can really push yourself, but like switching it on like that and switching it off like that and focusing it. So no wasted energy, no getting worked up, screaming, no excessive tension, no, every ounce of energy you have is going to get redirected at improving your result. So you often see that with truly elite lifters like Anastasia, like she walks up to the bell, like she's standing on the platform, like there's actually no need to get worked up, right? Because you need the energy for lifting. And then you see some guys who are really good, like as it's getting really hard, they have like this poker face, right? And of course there are some individual differences. Like obviously some people, like it also depends on your psychological profile. Like if you're like super like intense as a person, maybe that like shouting and like getting really like hyped can help you as well, you know? But I feel like I can do it, maybe I will at some point, but like the highest level are those people who are like so relaxed, you can't even tell that they are in any discomfort, because they just don't allow themselves to waste energy on stuff that doesn't matter, because all the energy has to go into getting the next rep. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. And here we're already in the 9th minute, and actually I had some strength to accelerate. I could have accelerated, but my grip wasn't holding up. So in total I did 2 reps less than my first 10-minute set with 28s. And that's just something like you can't get like too concerned about, because training has been going well, but I just couldn't realize it on the platform. And actually I did have one period of training where I was stuck with the same result with 24 kilogram jerk for over a year. And the thing is, my training was good. I knew how to train. I did all the right things, but the competition result didn't get better. And that's just something like that can happen, because the adaptation is not linear. The body is a very complex system, and you can't break it down to a super simple mathematical equation like A plus B is C, like just like train and recover and you get results. Yes, in the long term, like in when you look at the whole picture, like that's true, but not in the short term, because the body is so complex and the adaptation is not something that can be broken down to simple terms like that. So I'm not worried, because I know my training is going in the right direction. And okay, I did 2 reps less, but probably already the next time I'm going to like do more, because that's another thing like that's important for long-term progress in the sport, is you have to kind of manage your expectations, and you have to be okay with not progressing for some period of time, and as I say, trust the process. And it can feel super frustrating. And I remember when I had that plateau I talked about, where my jerk, like I was training so hard and all my training numbers improved, you know, my pace on the 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute intervals improved. My 5 minute set got better. My 7 minute set got better. Went to a competition, did 10 minutes and couldn't do more, right? I did the same number of reps in 7 minutes that I did then in 10 minutes at the competition. And that's just like something you kind of have to accept. And that's why I'm not getting worked up, even though I did a little bit less. I knew that I wasn't like at my best, like I just kind of felt it, but I was still hoping to at least get 50 reps and PR by 2 reps. Instead I got 2 reps less than my PR. And that's not something I'm getting worked up about, because I know like if I keep moving forward, I'm going to PR soon enough. Okay, yeah, that's it for today. Just some like random thoughts and like sharing my competition set. See you guys later this week.